Welcome to another edition of Bleav in Giants. watch.Papa, two-time Super Bowl champion Carl Banks. And Carl, the Giants have to take that lengthy trip to the Pacific
Yeah.
Northwest to take on a 3-1 Seahawks team coming off a short week and a Monday night loss in Detroit to the Lions, 42-29. Giants have had a mini bye off that Cowboy game. And look, this is going to be a tall order against a team that plays very well in their home building.
Yeah, Bob, it's they're a super talented team. You know, the Giants are coming off of their what we call a mini bye, but there's still a lot of questions that are yet to be answered in terms of the availability. I didn't even know that the running back Singletary had landed on the injury report, and it's a lot of different, and you have Nabers in the concussion protocol, so. I guess we'll just have to see how it plays out, but they're gonna have to play the players that they have. It's kind of a next man up mentality. There's really no excuses at this point. You're trying to find a way to get a win. It's tough to play in Seattle. They're a really good football team, both sides of the football, and their 12th man is a real thing.
Yeah, and I think the Giants need to make some plays early in the game, right? I mean, we always talk about starting fast. That's a given in the NFL. But in this case, it's really important because you want to take the crowd out of the game and, not getting third downs. It gets loud when you're in third downs. And the Seahawks defense, they've only given up third downs at 28%. So, stay out of third downs. They have 14 sacks on the season. Now, they're banged up defensively in a lot of different places, and they had defensive players that couldn't finish the game on Monday night in Detroit. So there could be some opportunities for the Giants here in this game. Listen, you talked about Jalin Hyatt. Opportunity. We don't know what the status of Nabers is as of this recording, but he's still in the protocol, and it's Friday. So if he's still in the protocol and it's Friday, it's iffy if he's going to be able to make it to the game. So Hyatt's going to get his chance as well as the other receivers, and we'll see what they do with the practice squad. And Daniel Jones got to hit some of these things, right? He's got to hit some of these balls because that's the difference. When you look at the fact that the Giants are 1-3, outplayed, outmanned, out of everything in week 1. Week 2, if you have a kicker, that's probably a victory. You went and were efficient in the red zone in week 3 against the Cleveland Browns, right? You did a nice job as far as that was concerned. And then the Dallas game, you just hit 1 or 2 of those plays.
Yeah.
Either hit them and then have some not dropped, and you could be staring at least 2-2, if not 3-1. Like their 1-3 this year looks a lot different than their 1-3 last year.
Yeah, Bob, you're so correct, and I guess the sobering aspect of that is that they are still just 1-3. You know what I mean? And I know, again, like I said in our post game wrap up with that Dallas game, there are really no moral victories, but internally, they're looking at film and saying, okay, these are fixable things and we need to get them fixed because they have the talent base. You can see where the opportunities were missed. Not opportunities missed if you had better players, but opportunities missed if you make a better play.
Correct.
So they will have to just take advantage of those. And you mentioned Jalin Hyatt. I'm super excited for him. I think he's gonna be ready. He stays ready. They've been trying to drag him into some type of controversy and saying that he has to be traded. He just, from everything I understand, he shows up to work and he works hard and he's still enthusiastic. And I've said this since last year. He's got one of the best pair of hands of all the wide receivers. He's got really good ball skills. So I'm excited. I don't know if the safety Julian Love, one of the Giants' former safeties, is going to play this week. But I mean, the Giants can put some pressure on the Seattle secondary if they can get it blocked up because um, they've got a skill, their skill positions, and that's not even including the tight ends. They can really challenge you. You've got a lot of versatility, and then even at the running back position. So they've got to come in there, mean business, make sure that they value every possession, and come out with a victory. Just figure out how to come out with a victory.
Yeah, I mean, look, Seattle's banged up, especially on the back end. They've given up 5 pass plays of 30 or more yards. Williams for the Lions had the 70-yarder on Monday night. Montgomery took a pass and found a lot of space. He went for 30. Laporta went for 30. They've given up 5 pass plays of over 30 yards, and one of them has resulted in a touchdown. But you got to hit the chances when they're there, man. There's no like, oh, gosh, we had it. We just missed it. Because, like, I'm watching the Thursday night game, and I watched Kirk Cousins throw a touchdown pass in traffic at the goal line. Back shoulder as the receiver's in the air, and the guy made the catch for a touchdown. Like, you saw the special teamer in overtime take a catch and then turn it into a touchdown. Like, they got to do, other than Malik Nabers, they need some other people to do above the X's and O's stuff.
Sure. And, that is also going to force Brian Daboll to diversify the pass game. There's a reason why he gives Malik Nabers the bulk of the pass attempts when he's on the field. Well, not the bulk, but he gets he's highly targeted.
He gets the bulk of them.
Yeah, he's highly targeted. But you have other players that get targeted heavily as well. So now he can redistribute those catches, and I think he's got capable guys there. Now, here's the other part of it that is going to be the biggest challenge, I think, for this Giant team is the Seattle offense. And Geno Smith is playing as good as anybody in the NFL right now. He's obviously playing super confident. That's been happening over the last couple of years. But, he scrambles to pass. He doesn't scramble to run. But when he scrambles, the guys in the defensive backfield cannot lose receivers. You got to be better than close. You got to be plastered, because you talk about quarterbacks that can really put it where they want it to go. That's Geno Smith. On the run, he can still throw a dart. DK Metcalf is a hard cover anyway. But if you're near him and that's a scramble rule, you better plaster and get your head around, because the ball is coming and you're going to have to knock it down or compete for it, because he's kind of the guy they go to when the quarterback's in trouble, because he can make contested catches all day long. They got 2 good running backs, but Kenneth Walker is the one that you better know your lane and gap responsibilities. You better know every single run responsibility on your defense, and don't leave it. They run the same plays with the running backs. The running backs don't run the same, right? When Walker's in there, every area on the defensive line is the point of attack. He does not stay where he's not welcome, meaning he will find the hole and go through it, even if it's on the opposite side of the line from left to right. There are other backs, they're more, I want to say more disciplined. They just don't have his skill set. So you can find them. But when Walker is in, you better alert everybody to be where they're supposed to be, because, like I said, Kenneth Walker does not run where he's not welcome. He'll find another place to go.
Yeah, Geno's hitting 72% of his passes. Now, he's only thrown 4 touchdowns and he's got 4 interceptions. But as you said, he can unleash it. I want to go piece by piece here. I'll start with Walker, because Walker is the complete package, so to speak. He can hurt you in the passing game. He's physical. He's strong. but he's fast and he's elusive. Like
Yeah.
he's got everything that you can possibly want. And one of the things that Giants head coach Brian Daboll talked about of things that they were working on earlier in the week when asked about sort of the state of the team was, one of the things that has to get better along with hitting deep shots and stuff. But from the defensive side of the ball, they have to get better at tackling. And if you don't bring your pads this week against Walker and against Metcalf, you don't think you're gonna. If Metcalf catches a ball on the sideline, don't think you're just hitting him and shouldering him out, because he's gonna stiff arm you, or he's gonna dip his shoulder, and he's gonna run right over your butt. So like, forget about kill shots. Forget about blowing Walker up or trying to blow Metcalf up. Make sure you bring your arms with you, because they'll kill you after contact.
Yeah, I'll tell you this. Kenneth Walker is not down until he's on the ground. Like, you saw in the Detroit game Monday night, they had him, he flips over and keeps running. You've got, and the other thing too about tackling, Bob, the best tackle is a team tackle, a gang tackle. So you get more than one guy to the football. That's,
I mean, like the picture behind you?
Yeah, that's one way to make sure. Yeah, see it, folks? That's one way to make sure you get the ball carrier on the ground. You get a lot of people around the football.
Yeah, he's got 4 runs of over 20 yards, and 2 of them have gone for touchdowns. And then Lockett, he's the big ball shot. Doesn't have a touchdown yet this year, but he scares you with the big ball shot. Smith and Jigba, although he's not averaging a lot of yards per catch, he's been the second most targeted receiver. He's the guy that helps out, on the third downs and in tight window areas. And then Noah Fant, he was part of the throw-in in the Russell Wilson trade.
Yeah.
He is a very fast, athletic tight end. So they can hit you from a lot of areas. This team.
Yeah, you just have to know how they, their route configurations are not sophisticated. With Metcalf, he's a good route runner. He's not, he doesn't run them like a small guy. He doesn't run them like Wan'Dale Robinson, but he can double move you, but you can see him, but you still got to cover him. The other guys, are more polished route runners, and I don't even want to make it sound like Metcalf is not a good route runner. He's a good route runner, but he's big, right? So you can see it. He can still double move you. He's fast and he's physical. The other guys work in short, tight spaces, short area quickness, if you will.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform, your number one source for everything football. BetOnline has every stat, every matchup, even live odds and spreads to bet on during the game. Hey, you think you know your stuff? Get in on the $200,000 mega contest. Pick 5 games against the spread every week. Your chance to win at weekly prizes and a share of $200,000. Now, when the game is over, head over to the online casino, blackjack, poker, or 150 different kinds of slot games. Head to the website today. Get in on the action. Bet online. The game starts here. Talking Giants and Seahawks. Papa and Carl Banks here on Bleav in Giants. Carl, I know there's a lot of people say Giants got no shot this week. They really have no shot this week. Seattle is really good, and Seattle and they're 3-1, so I give them their props. But let's dig a little bit deeper here. They lost to the Lions on Monday night, right? And Detroit pretty much controlled that football game.
Sure.
But there's going to be opportunities for the Giants. In week 1 in Seattle at home, Bo Nix making his first start for the Broncos, and they're not an A-list team, had the ball in their hand at the end of the game with a chance to win, down by 6. Week 2 in New England, and that's not exactly a juggernaut. The Patriots had a field goal block that would have put them up 6 at near the end of the game and not iced it, but had a good chance to ice it. Seattle comes downfield, gets a field goal to tie it, and then wins it in overtime. Obviously, they ran roughshod over Miami without Tua.
Yeah.
So it's not as if they beat the Chiefs, they've beaten the Bills, they've beaten the Ravens. I mean, they also
Yeah,
have their flaws, especially with their
yeah.
injuries. And
So,
when you hand a game, when you hand some games away, as the Giants did,
mhm.
well, how do you stabilize your season? Now go steal one where everybody thinks you can't win.
Yeah, Bob, here's the thing. The Giants fan base should not look at this game as, wow, it's going to be tough. The Seattle Seahawks are a really good team, and, the Giants don't have a shot. Look at your team as a team with talent that has to execute. Like, there's not a great disparity in talent when the Giants take the field. It's just that one team's playing better, and the Giants just have to do their part. There's always a path to victory. And like you said, every one of those games that Seattle played, they didn't run away with any of them other than the Miami game. There are opportunities there. And when you look at your talent base, it's better. Start to believe in that. But those players have to execute too, because they're good enough to beat the Seattle Seahawks. It's not like, again, it's not a matter of are the players good enough. It's a matter of are the players playing good enough. And so that's what it really comes down to, in my opinion, how this game will turn out.
Like I said, I mean, and I know the naysayer, there's a segment of the fan base that just can't be negative enough, right? And I understand their frustration in the last 10, 13 years, whatever. I get all that stuff. But we're trying to look at it in real time right now and give you sort of an intelligent look at it. And last year, when the Giants were at 1-3, you sat there and you said to yourself, I don't know how this is going to turn around.
Mm-hmm.
Offensive line was horrible. Jones is getting battered. Last year at this time, Saquon wasn't playing. Andrew Thomas wasn't playing.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just, they were under siege. Again, now they're their own worst enemy in not being able to win these close games that they won in 2022.
Mm-hmm.
But again, you have a kicker in week 2, or if Nabers catches what's probably one of the easiest balls that he's going to get this season in Washington, don't you think the Giants are going down to score there? Right?
Yeah.
I mean, and then you think about all the mistakes against the Cowboys. So, I just feel like they need something to go right their way, and not luck, not like out of the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Oh, we need luck. They need to make their own luck.
Yeah. It's
But as
pretty
you said,
simple.
right? But as you said, they've missed deep balls, they've
Mm-hmm.
dropped passes, they've dropped interceptions.
Yeah.
Like all these things. It's not like they're last year they were getting overwhelmed in games. The San Francisco game, they were overwhelmed.
Sure.
They were overwhelmed by Dallas. They were overwhelmed by Seattle. Now it's just, dude, make some plays. You're in position to make them.
Yeah.
And on the drop of a dime, it can switch.
Yeah. I mean, listen, they are good enough. They just have to execute. Across the board, they've got really good players. They've got to play good. And as I've said, kind of my theme here is your best players have to be your best players, no matter who the opponent is. They've got to show up and be the best players. Role players have got to be the attention to detail guys. The one guy who's stacking them right now is Cor'Dale Flott, but this will be his biggest challenge. Because he's got one or the other wide receivers. You can pick your poison. He's going to be challenged there. So let's see if he can lock in again. But best players have to be the best players.
Carl, we both experience soreness, feel a little achy and stuff like that. Well, there's a natural product out there called Cherry Bundy. Natural product and ingredients, no added sugar, Tart cherries are the highest antioxidant fruit or vegetable in the world. You want to reduce soreness, increase your recovery after a workout, help support your immunity, and also helps you sleep better when all those other things are working. Used by nearly 500 collegiate and professional sports teams. Every NFL team's got it in their facility. 10 of the last 11 Super Bowl champions have used it. Every NCAA football or basketball national champion since 2007 has Cherubundi in the locker room. These products are available on Amazon, cherubundi.com, and you can pick it up at Publix or Kroger's. So, when you feel a little achy, we're getting up
I
there.
got a shot. I got a shot in the refrigerator. I do.
Yeah.
I haven't taken it yet this morning, but I'm as soon as we get off of this pod, I'm gonna have my shot of Cherubundi.
I like that tart flavor.
They come in the little package, the shot packages, so you can just take it as a shot or put it in whatever your smoothie.
Yeah, I mean it tastes good. I'm a big tart cherry guy. I don't like things overly sweet, but when you have that natural melatonin, which kind of helps you sleep, and if you can just make your body feel good, you got a better chance of getting a good night's sleep, which means you recover better, you're not as sore. And listen, all these colleges and NFL teams have it there. They don't have it there just for the heck of it.
Right.
Because all these teams do things, from what they eat, what they serve in the cafeteria, everything is so planned out. So if Cherubundi's there, it's clearly a beneficial.
There for a reason. That's correct.
All right. What else about this game, Carl? Anything else strike you about this matchup?
Well, again, if you can defensively play well on first and second down, you will have an opportunity to get some pass rush. Now, if you don't, the ball's coming out quick. Geno Smith is not taking deep drops. He's already in the shotgun. They like to spread it out. He can see the field, and the football is coming out quick. So the Giants will have to get them in some third and long, 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8s, where you can now manipulate your coverage a little bit, and he's got to take a deeper drop or hold the ball a little longer. So that's the area that I'm looking at is how the Giants can impact the pass game. Across the board, their big three of Spider, Tibbs, and Dex. How can they impact this pass game? But they have to impact the run game first in order to have those opportunities.
Yeah, I know people are obsessed with the sack totals and all that other stuff. And here's what I would say. In this game, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Brian Burns and Kayvon Thibodeau need to play a little old school linebacker in the sense of the first priority at all points in time has to be setting the edge.
Yeah.
And then all the other guys with Dex, because he's going to get double teamed like he does every game. You guys got to step up to the plate, and then the linebackers and the safeties in their run support. Like, you cannot have missteps. And the DNs or outside backers, whatever you want to clarify, Tibbs and Burns or Ojulari when he's in the game or whomever. You better think run first, be stout, because if Walker gets going, you're toast.
Yeah, it's but the thing is, Bob, you set the edge, but your inside linebackers, they have to have their reads clearly defined. So if you're Nacho or any of these other guys that are coming in, don't jump out of your gap, because if you are out of place, you're going to force your inside linebackers to overcompensate, and it will never fail you when you see a ball that breaks for a long one. That means somebody was out of place and Walker found it, and he just made everybody over pursue and he cut back. So if everybody plays their responsibility, your inside linebackers and your safeties will have a place to fill and to make a tackle. But if you don't, and I've watched 4 games so far this season of Seattle and how they run their offense and run game. And it's predicated on getting somebody to run out of a gap because they have the runners that can find it. They have great vision. So as soon as you overrun something or you're out of a gap, that's where the football is going. So you can't have, 4 of the 5 guys up front doing their job and one guy not, because your inside linebacker is going to have to compensate for it, and that's where the ball's going to go.
All right. I don't think there's that much left to say on this game unless you have some more thoughts.
Nope. Go out and win the football game. Do what it takes.
Hey, by the way, any new 100 season stuff coming out?
I don't know if you guys saw this one.
I like that.
This is 1925. It is at the Giants Pro Shop at the stadium. It's also on fanatics.com. So we released like 4 new t-shirts. Even the one everyone's asking about, the one with Wellington Mara on it, it's available as well.
Oh, that one is available now.
Yeah, it is available now.
I thought you were going to hold that for the release of the documentary.
Well, we made it available. Actually, the Giants wanted it released now. So,
all right. Off to the Pacific Northwest, which it takes longer to get there than it does to get to London. But let's see if the Giants can stay out of 3rd and longs, stay on schedule, and hit some of these opportunities that have presented themselves in, let's face it, each of the last 3 games. I'm going to throw out the Minnesota game again. It was a mess on every aspect. But in the last 3 games, there have been opportunities. It's a time for them to start seizing some of them.
Absolutely.
How do we like to end it, my friend?
Tell a friend to tell a friend.
Bleav in Giants.
Giants.